Hi, my name is Eric Praud and I live in Dublin, Ireland. I left France in 1997 to work in catering as a waiter and restaurant manager in several countries. And then I went into tech support role for 6 months and Salesforce support, consultant, delivery manager, and back to consulting. And I am now the only Salesforce MVP in Ireland.
From restaurant manager to Salesforce consultant to being called out Salesforce MVP. That's quite huge. And not to forget, the only French guy in Dublin. That's Eric Praud for you. I am Khyati Mehta, host of this awesome podcast, and will hear the stories and insights from the man himself. There, Eric mentioning about his journey. So today we sit down with him and listen to his wonderful journey and take away all the tips and tricks on how to succeed in Salesforce. So, Eric, as you mentioned that you started your work journey as a restaurant manager, so what made you think of a switch and when did you particularly find Salesforce?
Right. So, it was because, or maybe thanks to, the downturn in 2008. It became very hard to work in restaurants at that time. So I knew a little bit about computers, and so I went for a call center job where they were looking for tier one support in French and English. My contract there was only for 6 months, so pretty much as soon as I started, I was already looking for my next job. And a friend of mine knew that Salesforce support was hiring French speakers. So went there for an interview, got the job, even though I had never heard of Salesforce. And I guess, well, the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah. So I think you have also done a in between job like before finding Salesforce. Is it so?
Yeah. So I was in technical support for a pharmaceutical company. Um, really didn't know much about computers, but just managed to kind of lie my way through. I know now I can say it. It's a long time ago, but
Mhm.
yeah. So lied my way through, managed to get the job, and yeah, and straight after I went to Salesforce.
So technically, it was more like firstly you started with being a restaurant manager and then stumbled upon a technical job and then Salesforce. So I think what made you realize that you need a change from technical to Salesforce, or did you find Salesforce out of nowhere, or what was it?
Yeah, well, to be fair, kind of fell upon me because I really didn't know that's what I wanted when I started. I was literally just trying to find a job because my contract was finishing with the other job. So, but when I started, I had a training for about a month, and then I saw that there was a lot that could be customized in Salesforce, and that really piqued my interest. So, I started to get interested there. And then, obviously I gathered a bit more experience and I became more and more addicted to it. So I was already answering some questions in the answers community when I was in support. So yeah, in short, I was interested very early on.
I'm personally very happy that you found out Salesforce because you are shining out in the answer community. And I have seen that you help people out there with questions, and you are the best in the answer community, I feel. So, how can someone, if someone is looking forward to answer some question and help people out there, so how can one start? Like, how can one trailblazer start the journey in answer community?
Well, I mean, just go for it. Don't hesitate. You probably know a lot more than you think you do. So just go there, go on the community, uh, look at questions, look at what you know, and answer them. But at the same time, look at the ones that you don't know the answer of. You can follow questions there.
Yeah.
Just follow them. See what solutions others are giving, and then try to work around it. Like try to understand those solutions, and you'll see like you learn a lot with this community.
Yeah, that is so true. Like, I feel Answer Community is one of the best platforms that Salesforce offers us because,
Mm.
you can just follow the questions. I personally follow a lot of questions every day because I am so intrigued in learning new things, and it's really great, I feel.
I think it's just great. I mean, um, I strongly believe that without the Salesforce community, like the Answers community, I wouldn't be at the level I'm at today now. Same, like, I followed a lot of questions, and I struggled a lot at the beginning, and it's normal. We were
Yeah.
all beginners at some point.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just think it's to me, it's the greatest community that Salesforce has out of all the communities they have. It's the
Mhm.
greatest. Everybody gives time, to answer questions. There's plenty of experts. There's some, like, like Steve Mo, that everybody obviously
Um,
knows,
that's why I
but
say,
some others.
yeah, that's why I said, that you are shining out in the dance community. And it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of efforts, to answer back. Because I personally answer and I sometimes feel like it takes a lot of effort to do that.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, there's many times where I kind of like know the solution in my head, but it's very hard to explain it. And
Yeah.
then sometimes you even have to test it yourself to make sure that you're not saying anything too stupid.
Hmm.
So yeah, it can take a lot of time.
Yeah, that's true. So, you have mentioned that you made a great switch in your career. So, do you have any advices for the ones who are looking for a career switch, or or for the ones who are just afraid to have a switch?
Yeah, well, my first advice is, do not hesitate. It can feel daunting, and please don't, and do not expect it to be a plain and simple ride. But just remember that the future looks bright, and it will be very rewarding. Um, there's many tools out there to help you with the switch to Salesforce. Like, use Trailhead to start learning. Create your own scenarios and try to solve them. Remember, one of the best way, if not the best way, to learn is to fail many times until you get to the solution. Um, Again, you should go to the answers community, see what issues others are facing. If there's a repeat of issues, then that means that a lot of admins will face it, and you probably will face it at some point in your career. So try to recreate this issue and try to solve them yourself. Look at the proposed solution, see how they differ from yours. And when you start to get more confident, just answer some questions yourself, and you'll be surprised at how much you know. And then there's also, like, all the social media. Reach out, connect with others through social media, and most of all, like, do not give up. We were, again, I'm saying it again, but it's so true. We were all beginners at some point in our career.
Yeah, that's a great list of advice. I am pretty sure that those points are all noted. Do you also want to throw some light on the platforms that Salesforce offers us?
Yeah, so of course, like, answers community, one of the best tools at your disposal, I think, that we both agree on.
Yeah.
So many people are there. They ask questions, but also some answer them. I mean, I don't know, how long does it take for most answers to come after a question? I mean, literally, it's a matter of seconds for some of them. It's crazy. Like, you barely have time to refresh your screen, and you already have like 3 or 4 answers sometimes.
Okay.
Also, like, from this answer community, you can follow people there. Follow them, see what they do. Don't forget Trailhead. It's free. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a great way to learn. It's usually quite fun, to be fair. Like, there's a few funny scenarios, and you know, social media is huge as well, like Twitter or LinkedIn. It's a great way to connect with others. And check out also the YouTube channels and the podcasts out there. Some are from Salesforce themselves, like Salesforce Admins is one of them, but there are also plenty of other channels that can help you on your journey, and your channel being one of them, Kieti.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Also, not to forget Trailblazer community group platform. Like that is also one of the best platforms. Even I have ran into meetings from all around the world, and it has helped me a lot for my journey. So that is also one of the greatest platform I see.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I forgot that one.
No,
Good
no.
point.
So you're also the only MVP in Ireland, if I'm correct. So how does it feel?
Mhm. Uh, well, to be
What
perfectly
if
honest,
the only French, I prefer to say it this way, that only French guy in Ireland who is also who also happens to be the only MVP. So how does it feel?
well, so all right, I'm not the only French guy in Ireland. I think I'm the only French guy who's an MVP in Ireland. Yeah, but to be honest, like I really don't mind to be the only Salesforce MVP in Ireland. There were some before me, and there will be others. And geography is definitely not an important factor here. What's important to me is what MVPs stand for, like being leaders, their knowledge of the Salesforce platform, and most of all the sharing of that knowledge. Also, as for the responsibilities, well, not really. I don't feel any pressure to do more. To be perfectly honest, it's a very nice recognition to get from Salesforce, and I only see advantages to it. No downside whatsoever.
Yeah. So we all know that Salesforce MVP nominations are around the corner now. So
Hmm.
what basically makes you like, how do you know that now you can be a Salesforce MVP, Because I came up with such questions from trailblazers like, should we apply? Should we not apply? So I'm like, even I'm blank. So what tips are you for?
Well, it's a bit hard to say. I mean, you cannot apply to be a Salesforce MVP.
Yeah.
Someone has to nominate you. You can have more than one nomination, but one is enough. After it goes through like a lengthy process, pardon me, of um, Salesforce employees and MVPs as well. Like I will have to go through them for the first time. See some nominations and say probably yes or no, or at least give some um, give some advice here. The only thing I can say, just remember what MVP stand for. So leaders, knowledge of Salesforce, and sharing that knowledge. And just eventually, if you do something great, somebody will nominate you. But to be fair, what happened to me, I didn't know somebody had nominated me. I still don't know if there was more than one nomination. I just received an email the week before it was being announced, telling me I was an MVP. But to keep it, not to tell anyone. It was so hard not to tell anyone. I was so excited, when I received this email.
Congratulations for that.
Thanks.
Also, what difference does you feel any difference in your life after becoming MVP, or in your work life, or just being a trailblazer? Do you feel any difference?
Um, well, it's a great honor for sure. Do I feel really a big difference? What the big difference to me is that now, sometimes as an MVP, you get asked for your opinion for future releases and like and stuff like that. I mean, can't talk too much about it, I guess, but that's really the main thing here. And also there is this MVP community. Like we've got ways now to connect just within MVPs. Obviously, like everybody everybody there is so knowledgeable. So that's where being an MVP really helps. It's all this sharing of the knowledge, like all the other knowledge that you get from them as well. And as I said, like seeing some preview of some future items on Salesforce.
Mhm. Okay. So, do you have any last piece of advices for the ones who are, wanting to join maybe the answer community, or just the community in general?
um just do it. Just do it. You will not regret it. Like it is so rewarding.
Yeah.
Just go for it. Don't hesitate. um Remember, failing is an option, and that is the best way to learn. So just don't worry and don't hesitate.
Yeah, that are the golden words. Like, just do it. Don't You won't regret it. So,
Exactly.
yeah, that's our show. Now, before we go, last question to you, Eric. Describe Salesforce community in one word.
One word only. Ouch. Right. So I won't go with the standard ones. Let me go with essential. And I'll
Ah,
explain. Like it's essential because if you're an admin or if you look after an org in any shape or form, you have to use the community at some point. Whichever part of the community you use, you will use it. It will save you time, it will save you hassle, you'll make some great connections, and all of it will help you on your journey. So to me, it is essential for your journey. So go for it. It will make your life easier and so much more rewarding.
again, thanks to Eric for being the wonderful guest and sharing his journey with us. I thank you all for listening. See you all at the next podcast.